Red Man here with my boy Flipside. What's up, Flip?
What's up, my guy? What's up? Just a little. I'm not even disappointed. I'm feeling the exact same way I feel every week because I call this shit every week, and every week it happens. So what's the point of being disappointed? There's no point.
Boy, I mean, but see, this is the reason why. It's because the NFL is a place for full of surprises. But it's some stuff is so predictable that you just gotta laugh at it. You can't even really get angry. All you can do is laugh. But all right, anyway, yeah. But anywho, before we get into it, let's see what happens if the season were to end today. Let's start with the NFC. Wow. You got Philly with the number 1 seed. And you know what's crazy? Is I thought that at this point in the season, I thought the number 1 seed would go to San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Number 2.
No. You can't say that because Philly is nice. I mean, we just saw Philly in the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, but you never know.
So it's like you can't. I mean, you can say like, oh, I think that I think San Fran might have a chance at number 1, but not like obvious because Philly is right there. The NFC is stacked again. It's top heavy, but it's stacked. But it's starting to get back to that NFC of old. Because you remember how back in the day we used to be like the NFC is like the Western Conference of the NFL?
Yeah.
Where it's like those are the guys. Like if they're the ones winning, then like there's a chance that they're taking the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
See how it's like it has those 2 teams at the top that just somehow just win it all. Anyway. Yeah. The AFC is just very like top heavy, and then the NFC is usually like that juggernaut, battle it all out kind of situation. It's kind of getting back to that, which is fun to see because seeing teams like the Lions, the Vikings, seeing teams like you can't say the Packers anymore. They kind of got replaced, but just kind of like those lower teams that we weren't really like looking forward to. They're starting to like show themselves, and it's nice to see because Philly. For the last 5 years has been pretty good.
Yeah,
5 or 6 years.
They just needed something to get them over the hump. That's what they needed.
Yeah, I mean, shit. When they won in 2017? That was when they kind of started establishing themselves as the guys in the NFC East. So I mean, hey, we got to give them their props eventually.
Yeah. But the number 2 seed right now is Detroit, and the number 3 seed
is the surprise. Now that's the surprise for me.
Yeah. Number 2 is Detroit. Number 3 is San Fran.
No, after the whole injury plague, that makes sense because losing Debo, losing Trent Williams, Christian McCaffrey getting banged up, that's like a big blow to your team. And when those are like the main guys for your team, and then you got Fred Warner, he was a little banged up too. So seeing them healthy again, and then Chase Young is there now, it's like, I don't know if I want them to stay at the 3rd seed if I'm a team in an NFC East. Because that means that they get free pickings to somebody with the 5th, 6th seed right there.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if I'm the 5th, 6th seed right now, which I think is Dallas, I don't want
they're number 5
anywhere near my team.
Yeah, they're the 5th. Dallas is the 5th seed right now. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me recheck this. Now Dallas is the 6th. The Seahawks is the 5th seed. Dallas is the 6th seed, and you got the Vikings bringing up the rear with the 7th seed. Now, as it stands, if the season were to end today, the Vikings would go up against the Lions. NFC North matchup. Cowboys would go up against the 49ers, and to believe it or not, that's if you're the Cowboys, that ain't what you want because the 49ers have got your Yeah, that is not what you want. The Cowboys, I mean, the 49ers have had the Cowboys number for like the last decade.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is an interesting matchup. The Seahawks and the Saints. The Saints are holding on because, I mean, the thing is, the Saints are a dark horse. Nobody believes in them just because they're in a weak NFC South division. But that would be the one game that they win would be the Seahawks. Only because they're at home.
Honestly, yeah, I could. That's the one game where I'd be like, I'm not surprised they won.
Yeah,
because that defense it's good enough to win them games. It's just the offense is a little questionable right now because we see Derek Carr is he's not on the same page with Olave. Michael Thomas can only do so much. Alvin Kamara is not a workhorse like he used to be.
Right.
He's getting up there in age, so he can't be out there running it 20 sometimes and getting you crazy yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that offense, man. That's the only thing that's questionable. So if they can turn it around in the playoffs, shit, the Seahawks are a little screwed there.
Absolutely. Now the AFC, I can't say I'm not surprised, but it's just some of the placement of the guys. Of course, you got Kansas City with the number 1 seed, the Ravens with the number 2 seed. Now, I'm not surprised they're in the playoff picture, but the number 2 seed? Wow. You got the
Ravens turned it around this year.
Yeah, they did.
And here's the thing. We've always known that the Ravens are a good team, right?
Yeah.
It's just that
injuries have murdered them.
Injuries and offense issues. Like it's always been an issue with the receivers, or it's always been an issue that Lamar's hurt, or the running backs are hurt. I swear J.K. Dobbins has torn his ACL or his Achilles about 30 times since I've been watching this Baltimore Ravens team.
Yeah.
But it's so unfortunate because that defense is always nice.
Yeah.
Shit, the Ravens stay with a good defense. So I'm not surprised at number 2 because it's a healthy Ravens team. This is what we always expect.
Yeah.
Hell, Lamar, he might be MVP this year.
I wouldn't doubt it. The Jaguars, they're who I expected to be the number 2 seed, but the Jaguars are sitting pretty at number 3. They got a home game if the playoffs were happening today. Yeah. Some people say the Jaguars look a little bit shaky. I mean, I still got a C, but I mean, they're still solid. How far they go into the postseason, if they make it, is a whole other ball game. The Dolphins got the 4th seed. Wow.
They've had, I don't know. They've fallen off a little bit. The schedule's been a little tough for them, but it's just, I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. It's just, I would expect them to blow away every player or every team they played at that point.
Yeah. A lot of people question their legitimacy because they say that they haven't beat a dominant 500, a team that's over 500. That's a dominant team. But hey, we'll see because they're gonna get tested. The Pittsburgh Steelers are at the number 5 seed. Oh boy! Now this is what I'm about to tell you is a statistical fact. In the last 4 games, they have been. Let's see. Opposing teams have dominated quarterback rating, passing yards, running yards, and time of possession. But the Steelers somehow win games. How?
Because they're nice.
I'll tell you what it is. It's defense, clutch splash plays, and Mike Tomlin. And I'm gonna give it to the running game too, because the running game. It took a while for the running game to get set. It took 6 weeks for the running game to come to fruition. But hey, I'll give it to the running game too. 200 yards on the ground in the last game. I mean, mind you, Green Bay had a weak run defense, but still, 200 yards on the ground, that's impressive. And like I said, it might just be voodoo magic from Mike Tomlin, but the Steelers sitting at 6-3. I'm a Steelers fan. To me, that's kind of baffling.
I want to say it is, but then it's just like, man, the Steelers the defense is just nice.
Yes.
And then it doesn't help that when your defense is that good that it's like stifling offenses, and then you come back, or Deontay Johnson comes back, and y'all look way better.
Yeah.
Like even Kenny Pickett looks better because he can just check it down to Deontay real quick, and Deontay will run off for like a quick scamper for 10 yards or something. Yeah. Or Jaylen Warren and Najee look better in the run game. It's like Kenny Pickett has finally understood that as long as he doesn't throw the game away, literally.
Oh yeah. And feed win. George Pickens, for the love of Christ. Feed George Pickens. I swear to God.
I don't think he's getting fed.
Yeah, but the thing is, he gets I'll give it to him in this regard. He's clutch. If you want a good 30-plus yard catch at the last minute, he's your go-to guy. He beats people one-on-one 90% of the time.
Yeah.
So I do think that Johnson is probably going to be the go-to guy as far as that receiving core, but Pickens, he's going to be your clutch guy. And of course, Freiermuth should be back soon too. But yeah, that's still a defense is something else. It's kept them in games that a lot of people say that they shouldn't really be in. But hey, I'm like I said, I'm not going to question it. We're sitting at 6-3. So, but of course, there's 8 weeks left in the season. There's still plenty enough time for us to screw it up. But hey, we'll see. The Cleveland Browns are at the 6th seed. Now, what's crazy is the Browns got the number 1 defense in the league. Now, just to pedal back with the Steelers have like the number 26 offense, but like the number 3 defense. That's a crazy ass turn of events. How the hell do you got a bottom 5 defense? I mean, a bottom 5 offense, but a top 3 defense? How?
Cleveland's nice, man.
Cleveland, yeah.
And it doesn't help that Deshaun is hurt.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to dial this back a second.
Mm-hmm.
Deshaun is hurt. He's out for the season now. After he threw a perfect second half, and then realized that his shoulder hurt so much that he needs to go get surgery. So he's out for the season. And then on top of it, they already lost Nick Chubb. Like we always forget that Nick Chubb is not on that team right now, and that's they're a running team at the heart of it.
Exactly.
And so no Nick Chubb, now no Deshaun Watson. Already had no Deshaun Watson for the last 4 or 5 weeks. And you really only got Amari Cooper in the receiving game.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess you can talk about Elijah Moore, but I mean, there's not much to talk about. It's the same situation as the Steelers, but the Steelers are improving offensively. The Browns are they're stuck. There's nothing really that we see that could be like, oh man, the Browns can turn it around on offense if this happens or if this player comes back or something, because they just losing everybody. So, I mean, I think it's more of a surprise that the Browns are still fighting over the Steelers right now because it's looking bad over there.
Yeah. And much to everybody else's surprise, but then again, maybe not really, the Texans got the 7th seed.
Shout out to C.J. Stroud. Shout out
to C.J. Stroud. I got to give the boy his props, man. He's lighting it up. I mean, God. I mean, he's doing a hell of a lot better than over there in Carolina. Yeah, man.
Bryce Young. Oh man, no. Yeah. Bryce Young is just unfortunate. It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Bryce Young.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, it's just it's a horrible. He's not a bad quarterback. It's just a horrible turn of events. He's got a bad situation right now. But yeah. All right. What was your game of the week last week? I'm gonna tell you what my game of the week was. Scoring wise, it was the Chargers game. But we know how that ended. Well, actually, you know what? I got 2. Cleveland versus the Ravens, and then the Chargers game was my top 2 games of the week. But yeah, what about you?
For me, it was the Lions Chargers was a really fun game. But also I think I had Falcons Cardinals.
Yes.
Cardinals was fun. I was wrong about Kyler Murray. I won't say that because it was the Falcons. But Taylor Heineke going out with the hamstring injury and Ritter coming back in, I thought that this game was going to be wraps. But the Falcons kind of fought. They fought there a little bit. It was fun. The Bengals-Texans game was fun too. Very fun game. But I got to give it to the Lions-Chargers because I'll say this. I was watching that game and I saw everything I said was going to happen, and I was just excited to see the ending. Because I was excited to come in and be like, I told y'all so.
Yeah.
And I told y'all so.
You did, unfortunately.
I said it was going to be 27-24, though. I didn't think they were going to go up to 41-38, but I knew it was going to be a 3-point game.
Yeah. Now, most improved of the week. Really, you could give this to like 5 teams, really.
Oh, 100%. I'm giving it to the Broncos, though. The Broncos, this team has turned it around. What can I say? They're doing so much better. it's so much better. We're seeing their defense actually stop great offenses. We're seeing Russ game manage like Russ does. We're seeing a healthy Javonte Williams carry this team.
Mm-hmm.
We're seeing Cortland Sutton. Unfortunately for Cortland Sutton, he fumbled, but Cortland Sutton was out there balling. Like, this team is turning around. Like, the Chiefs and the Bills back to back. Like, that is a huge improvement for this team. So yeah, shout out to the Broncos, man. They're killing it over there.
Yeah, I got to give it to the Broncos myself. And the thing is, they're on a 3-game streak, and what are that? I mean, the thing is, they just have the misfortune of being in the AFC West. But hey, you can only do so much. And people say that Russell Wilson's lost a step, but hey, they're obviously doing something right in that locker room. And last but not least, the ever so coveted choke of the week. You can give this to 3 teams. You can either give it to the Ravens, you could give it to the Bills, or you can give it to the Chargers. Which one would you give it to?
I'm giving it to the Bills. The Lions are a great team. The Chargers losing to the Lions was expected. But so I can't say that the Chargers choked it.
I can. Because
I can't, because this is a Lions team that's second in the NFC. This is a Lions team that has proven itself against good teams. Mm-hmm. This is a Lions team that we're still underestimating because it's the Lions.
Yeah.
So it's like, I understand that, but Amon-Ra St. Brown is great. Mm-hmm. David Montgomery is insane. Like, I don't know if you saw the play. It was 4th and 5. They ran the ball on us on 4th and 5. And wow. David Montgomery got 6 yards. Like, that is insane. Who runs the ball on 4th and 5? But
you got to be ballsy to do that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they have a coach that is willing to do that, and he believes in his team that much. It's like, that whole situation is great. The Lions are in a great situation. So I can't sit here and be like, oh, man, the Chargers choked that game away. I was happy the Chargers were still in that game. The way they were playing, the Lions were killing us. I think Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs both had, like, huge 50-plus yard runs on us. So for it to be a 3-point game, I was thankful. But, I got to give it to the Bills. Like, this Bills team is falling apart. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's the run game being stagnant. I don't know why they don't give James Cook the ball more. It seems like when they do, he does great things with it. Josh Allen, I don't know if he's hurt and he's just not saying anything, but he's looking not great. Diggs got locked up by what's his name? Surtain, which is it's understandable. It's Patrick Surtain. He's probably the best corner in the league. But it's just like, damn, like, you guys should have smoked the Broncos the way the Dolphins smoked the Broncos. Yeah. Since you guys, the next week, smoked the Dolphins. I got to give them the choke of the week. They're falling up. I think this is back-to-back weeks where they've lost to teams where they should have won, no problem. So,
it's nuts. It's nuts how, just to look at the playoff picture one more time before we get in our predictions, isn't it nuts how a lot of the top two of the teams who we predicted to be in the top 3 in the AFC, if the season ended today, they would not make the playoffs. That being the Bills and that being the Bengals. That's nuts.
Yeah, the Bills, I don't know, it's been looking iffy, and the Bengals just, I don't know, they had that slow start because of Burrow's calf. Yeah. So I kind of want to give them the benefit of the doubt for that, since they're actually ramping up and they're looking like they're going to, at least get the wild card. Mm-hmm. But it's, I don't know, it's just, it's the Wild West.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm cool with it.
Yeah. All right, but without further ado, Thursday Night Football, AFC North matchup. You got the Cincinnati Bengals going on the road against the Baltimore Ravens. Who you got? Bengals, Ravens.
Oh, this one's going to be tough. The last time these two played, it was close, and that was with Burrow and the messed up calf. So I kind of want to lean towards the Bengals, but this Ravens team has so much momentum. Yeah. That defense looks great. It's a divisional game, so I think they're both going to play each other hard. I kind of want to go with I'm going to go with the Bengals, just because the passing attack. I think if you get into a shootout, I think I trust Joe Burrow with Chase. I don't know if Higgins is playing. But Boyd, Higgins, Chase, and Mixon. I think I like that passing attack more than I do like a Zay Flowers, Mark Andrews, and I mean Keaton Mitchell is looking great. Gus Edwards, it's Gus Edwards, but I just think it's gonna be a shootout. It's gonna be a shootout, and since it's a divisional game, I can't expect the Ravens defense to scheme them up and shut them down too much because the Bengals should know how to play them by now.
Yeah,
especially after week 1. And Burrow's healthier, so it might just be the same thing all over again. But I think they split the wins this year. Give me the Bengals in this one. I'm going to say 27-23 over the Ravens.
I'm gonna go in a slightly different direction. These two teams do beat each other up, and I actually got this being a slightly lower scoring game, probably maybe in the middle, something like that. It's just that a lot of people say that that the Lamar Jackson code has been cracked. Like you got to force him to beat you with his arm, but now you can't even do that because he's figured it out. That and the fact that his wide receivers have stuck super glue to their gloves finally. And Joe Burrow, like I said, he's in these situations, and especially in that one divisional game, like he was like very, very sack prone. And hopefully it's not the case. But the thing is, you hit Joe Burrow once, he starts to get happy feet and start trying to scramble out of the pocket. You can't do that against the Ravens defense. So with that being said, I'm gonna give it to the Ravens 17-20. Next up, another divisional game, AFC North. You got the Pittsburgh Steelers going on the road against the Cleveland Browns. Who you got? Browns, Steelers.
I gotta go with the Steelers here. Just like we were saying before.
The injuries,
the
man.
Team looks like it's just injuries, and they're regressing slowly, and more. I don't think it's gonna be a blowout just because the Browns defense is that great.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of trust the Steelers offense to get down the field more than this Browns offense right now. I don't even know who's starting at quarterback. I'm
me either.
assuming it's PJ Walker, but
they will eat PJ Walker alive. That Steelers front seven, yeah. We got Cameron Hayward back. TJ Watt is TJ Watt. The only thing that concerns me is the Steelers secondary because we don't have Minkah Fitzpatrick. I mean, we got Devontae Casey, but we don't have a general in the secondary. But go on.
Yeah, but I mean, who do they have besides Amari Cooper? All you got to do is just double him, and you pretty much shut down their whole entire receiving game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, give me the Steelers in this one. I'm gonna say Steelers 16, Browns 10.
I'm going to say Steelers 23-21. Next up, NFC North matchup. You got the Detroit Lions at home against the Chicago Bears. Who you got? Bears, Lions.
This is a Lions game. I don't know if Justin Fields is playing this week. I don't think he is. Maybe he's playing.
Game time decision.
But even then, it's just like I don't even think they're gonna play him. If they do, I don't have a lot of faith in them against this team. It's just this Lions team is clicking, man. The Bears' weakness is their run defense, and I guess their pass defense too, if you want to be honest. And look who the Lions have. They have a two-headed beast at running back with Montgomery and Gibbs. Yeah. They have a two-headed beast in the receiving game with
Amon-Ra St. Brown,
and Amon-Ra St. Brown, and Jared Goff looks great. He's looking great this year. Mm-hmm. He's looking like it was Rams Goff when they went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you give him some weapons and he can make things happen. That's the problem.
Exactly.
Yeah, you give him some weapons.
And he knows this playbook now. He's in that playbook. He knows it, to the T. So I can't go with the Bears who look like they're going for the Caleb Williams Bowl. I can't do it. I mean, they're hyping up Tyson Bagent so much that you would think that he's their franchise quarterback. So, just give me the Lions in this one. I'm going to say 30-16 over the Bears. This shouldn't even be close.
Yeah, the only thing that Chicago really has is somewhat of a running game. And they have a question mark at quarterback. And Detroit right now is trying to make a playoff push. They're trying to keep that playoff spot, if not trying to bump themselves up, maybe another seed. But I don't know about all that, but we'll see. But yeah, it's for me. This is an open and shut case. Go ahead and give me Detroit 24-13 over the Bears. Next up, oh boy, I struggle. I really struggle with this one because I said I was not going to pick the Chargers again, but you got the LA Chargers going up against the Green Bay Packers at Lambeau. Who you got? Chargers, Packers.
Oh, I'm taking the Chargers in this.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a game where I'm confidently taking the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
The reason being, our secondary is iffy when you know how to exploit it, and they have Jordan Love. It's Jordan Love on the other. It's like he's not good. I don't think he knows how to exploit defenses. So I'm not like scared of Jordan Love throwing the ball. Am I scared of the run game a little bit? Maybe, because I'm scared of every run game. But
yeah,
we we can stuff run games pretty effectively sometimes. So I think if we're not afraid of the passing game, which I don't think we should be against Green Bay. Yeah, we'll be able to stuff the run game. I think Bosa and Mack will actually be able to get to the quarterback this game. We couldn't do it against the Lions at all. Mm-hmm. And I mean, our offense is just good.
That's the thing. That's what I was about to say. You guys put up 35 plus points. That's what I was going to say. You guys put up 35 plus points against a top tier team. That should be more than enough to convince me that y'all can win this game.
We always lose by one score, but this should be one of those games. This should be like the game the week before against the Jets, where we just go out there, the offense, dominates, the defense does its job because the quarterback on the other end isn't that great. Staley keeps his job because of this, and we move on to next week. So give me the Chargers in this game. We'll say 27-20 over the Packers.
The only thing that would save Green Bay in this game is if Jordan Love turns into Superman, doesn't turn the ball over, and if that running game that Green Bay has is flawless. But
yeah, if the run game starts going crazy and Jordan Love starts running like he's Michael Vick, then yeah, we're probably screwed. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, but what are the odds of that? You know what? Let me not say it. Let me not jinx it. But yeah.
No, it's too late.
I actually got this being a close game. Give me the Chargers 27-23 over the Packers. Next up, oh boy, you got the Las Vegas Raiders going up against the Miami Dolphins at home. Who you got? Dolphins, Raiders.
Now this one, I know the Raiders have been on a little win streak lately, and it's looked great. It looks great for the fans. It looks great for Pierce because new head coach. He's on this little run. He's got the momentum. He's got the locker room. But the Dolphins get Devon Achane back this week, and this is the worst week for the Raiders to play the Dolphins because they get a healthy, still ramped up Dolphins team. Now even more super powered because Achane is back. Yeah, this might be one of those Broncos games against the Dolphins. Yeah, I think this is a game where we see Tyreek Hill go crazy because he's still chasing the record. We see the run game go crazy because they get their two-headed monster back in Mostert and Achane. And yeah, the defense has improved because they got Jalen Ramsey later this year. They have enough to stop the Raiders. The Raiders don't even have Garoppolo out there. I think they have Aiden O'Connell still. Yeah. So, yeah, give me the Dolphins this one. I would say 35-20 over the Raiders.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's a pretty open and shut case. I mean, Miami, they're on a tear right now, looking like world beaters, and I think it might be just, unfortunately, Las Vegas had to run at them. So going ahead and give me Miami in this game, 28-9 over the Vegas Raiders. Next up, NFC East matchup. You got the Washington Commanders at home against the New York Giants. The New York Giants is just a mess right now. They're looking hopeless. Daniel Jones didn't start. He's out for the rest of the year. That team starts to end with Saquon. He can't carry the workload by himself. Washington actually has somewhat of a hope and a prayer. They're a solid team all around. And the thing is, if you give Sam Howell time, man, I think that he's going to be give him a couple years, especially if you give him a line, to run by. If you give him, and the thing is, he's got receivers to throw to. I mean, he's got Terry McLaurin, and he's got a good tight end too. You give him some time, Sam Howell can make some magic happen. But me going ahead and giving me Washington in this game, 27-13 over the Giants. Who you got? Washington, New York.
Oh, give me the Commanders. My bad. Yeah, forgot that's not their name anymore. I still have it. The Commanders got this game. The Giants are defeated. Saquon, he needs to demand a trade or just leave. I think he's on the franchise tag this year. They should basically prison for this man. Daniel Jones is out for the year again. It's not looking good for that team. They had a repeat of I think week 1 versus the Cowboys last week. It's probably the sorriest team in the NFL right now. So give me the Commanders in this. I'll say 23-7 over the Giants.
Yeah, all right. Next up, you got the Dallas Cowboys going on the road against the Carolina Panthers. Carolina Panthers are another team that's just a complete mess trying to figure things out. But now it's too little too late for them trying to figure it out. Dallas is still trying to hold on to that playoff spot they got. And I think, Dallas needs a couple games like this for people to say, okay, we're still here. We're still got it. I mean, the thing is, Leighton Vander Esch is out for the rest of the year. And the thing is, if what I'm reading in the reports is right, is his career might be in jeopardy with that neck injury. And you hate to see it. And the thing is, now, and I hate to say this, but without Zeke, Dallas's running game isn't what it was. But the thing is, they got more than enough receiving weapons to make up for that. But still, for me, this should be an open and shut case. Going ahead and give me Dallas in this game, 28-7 over the Panthers. Who you got? Panthers, Cowboys.
Dallas wins pretty easily. It's just that this Panthers team stinks. Like, they have no run game. I mean, it's nice to see Adam Thielen, balling out, but I mean, besides that, they really don't have a passing game. Bryce Young is still a rookie, and he's got really no O-line to work with. Their defense isn't the greatest either. This should just be another game where we see Dallas blow them, out the water. CeeDee Lamb's on fire. The run game isn't the greatest, but I just feel like that's because they refuse to really, run Tony Pollard like that. They need to just focus on running him like a workhorse, basically. But, I mean, it doesn't even really matter. CeeDee Lamb is just going insane.
He's a world beater.
So, give me Dallas in this 30-16.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, it really is unfortunate because, the Carolina did really have so much promise coming into the season, especially with Bryce Young. But, I mean, I don't know if it's him or if it's just the team around him. That's the problem. But, yeah.
It's kind of a bit of both, but we can't really, judge a rookie off their first year because, usually the whole process should be they sit for 2 or 3 years to kind of get the understanding of the game, and then they go in, or they're NFL ready, but they're just assuming that everybody is NFL ready now.
Yeah, they're not,
and that's not the case.
Yeah, this is a case of some quarterbacks need to sit for at least a year or two behind a veteran QB.
Oh, 100%. He should. I don't know. I would wish they would go get Cam or somebody.
Yeah, please.
Because who was it? Andy Dalton came in?
Yeah.
Or somebody, and they looked way better than him. So it was you should have just stuck with him, Andy Dalton, and tried to make a move with it. But I guess, they're just going to play for the lottery and get some more pieces around them.
True.
Maybe build an O-line. So, I mean, that could be the case, too. We'll see.
Yeah. All right, but next up, AFC South matchup, you got the Titans 3-6 going up against the Jaguars at home 6-3. These two teams beat the hell out of each other on a regular basis. It's just that the Titans are kind of iffy right now because of their QB situation. The Jags, a lot of people say that the thing is the Jags are sitting at 6-3, but everybody, including myself, can see chinks in their armor. And if they don't get patched up quickly, then they can have a problem going down the stretch, meaning they can start dropping games, or even if they do get in the playoffs, they could be a first round exit. But I mean, for me, this game is an open and shut case. Going ahead and give me the Jags in this game. Let's say 24-14. Who you got? Titans, Jags.
I got to go with the Jags in this. I don't think Will Levis is the answer. I think after
he's not the problem.
He
ain't the answer, but he ain't the problem.
Yeah, he's alright. He's decent, but they just need to go get a real, quarterback eventually. It's so bad that Derrick Henry they're just stuffing the box. The entire game, they just stuff the box and they take away Derrick Henry and then the game's over.
But yeah.
And the Jags do the exact same thing. Will Levis is not winning a shootout with Trevor Lawrence.
No.
It's just an open and shut case. I mean, and Trevor Lawrence even has a run game with Etienne.
Yeah, Etienne. Yeah.
So it's just, it's just, I can't trust the Titans this game. Give me the Jags in this one, 24-14 over the Titans.
All right. Next up, this game is going to be very, very interesting. You got the Houston Texans at home against the Arizona Cardinals. Now, Kyler Murray came back and put on a show, but the Texans with C.J. Stroud have just been on a tear. And I'm impressed with C.J. Stroud because of his QB IQ already and the way he utilizes his weapons. Now, don't get me wrong, his receiving core stepped up, and they know they have to adjust to his speed. They have to get used to C.J. Stroud. But the way that they have gotten used to him and the way his receiving core is acting is amazing. The defense ain't bad either, but I mean, hey, that's not the primary focus. He's made that team look very, very good. And the thing is, like I said, they're sitting at the 7th seed right now. They could actually make a playoff push. Now, with Kyler Murray in the cards here, look at what he's done with not much to work with. He's coming in with pretty much an empty gun. And the thing is, he still managed to win a game last week. But I don't know if it's going to be enough to dominate this Texans team. So going ahead to give me the Texans 28-14 over the Cards. Who you got? Texans, Cardinals.
Oh man, it's going to be another fun. It's going to be a fun game. If Kyler Murray is really back and he's back in prime form, it's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a shootout.
Yeah.
James Conner is back, I think, so the run game is going to be there. C.J. Stroud is just C.J. Stroud. He's making anybody look good. He got Noah Brown looking like the Cowboys missed out on the wide receiver. that's how good C.J. Stroud looks right now. He's got the backups looking like top tier receivers. So it's gonna be a fun game. It's gonna be a shootout. It might be game of the week for me. We'll see.
Yeah.
I gotta go with the Texans, so I gotta go with Stroud, man. He's been throwing his ass off. Honestly, if he keeps this up, we might be, talking about MVP conversations here.
Maybe rookie of the year, definitely.
Looking nice.
Yeah,
looking nice.
Yeah.
But give me the Texans in this one. I think it's gonna be a shootout. I don't think the defenses are really gonna matter here. I think both teams are just gonna be just chucking the ball. I'm going to lean towards the Texans, though. I'm going to say Texans 33, Cardinals 30.
All right. Next up, you got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going on the road against the San Francisco 49ers. 49ers are looking like world beaters right now. The Bucs with Baker Mayfield. The thing is, Baker Mayfield is one of those guys who comes alive in the second half. But with a team that can run up the score like as quick as the 49ers can, you really got to play 60 minutes of damn near flawless football. You make one mistake, boom, that's your ass. And the thing is, we see what difference Deebo Samuels make. We see the difference. And I don't know if that secondary for the Buccaneers has an answer for him. That along with the fact that, a lot of people have been questioning Brock Purdy's legitimacy just because they went in that 3-game losing streak. But I think that they're back this game. And it's just unfortunate that, the Bucs run into the tank known as the 49ers. But yeah, going ahead and give me the Niners, let's say 27-10 over the Bucs. Who you got? Niners, Bucs.
Niners, Bucs. I'm going Niners. The Niners are back. They're healthy. They got their boys back. They got Trent Williams, so the O-line actually looks good again. They got Devo, so Brock Purdy's happy again. The defense is healthy. They just got Chase Young. The Bucks are good, but the Niners are back in form. This is the Niners team that we're expecting. We saw the injuries, and the Niners always get injured. The Niners, I swear, every year they get injured, and then some blockbuster trade. It feels like every year they have some kind of blockbuster trade. I don't know how they do it.
Yeah, it's not a coincidence.
but yeah, I gotta go with the Niners in this one. The Bucks are cool, but they're not a Super Bowl team. They're kind of the remnants of a Super Bowl team, and they're getting weaker and weaker because they lost Brady. Now they got Baker Mayfield. They lost Gronk. Now they got Kate Otten. So, you still got Mike Evans. You still got Godwin, but I don't think that offense is going to be able to carry this, team against a 49ers team that is fully, equipped right now and fully healthy. So, give me the Niners in this. I'm going to say 28-23 over the Bucks.
All right. Next up, AFC East matchup. You got the 4-5 Jets going at home against the Buffalo Bills. Buffalo Bills have been looking shaky lately. They've had a couple of close games that a lot of people thought they should have put away, and that's one of their problems. And I don't know if it's a Josh Allen problem or the way that the offense is being run. The Jets are looking all right, basically. And the thing is, a lot of people thought that this would have been a blowout, but this game is probably going to be a lot closer than people think it is. But in this one, I think this might be a bounce back game for the Bills. We might start to see a little inkling. I think this is where the Bills get their stuff together, and this is the game they need, especially with the AFC East. Give me Buffalo. Let's say 27-20 over the Jets. Who you got? Jets, Bills.
Oh man, this one's weird because the Jets did sneak a win against the Bills week 1.
Yeah.
And this Bills team is looking a little shaky. They're looking a little shaky, so it's hard to really say this is gonna be a blowout. I'm agreeing with you. I think it's gonna be a close game. I think I gotta go and lean with the Bills in this one. But I would not be surprised if the Jets take this game.
Yeah, me either.
Because Josh Allen is looking a little shaky out there. Their run game is still looking shaky. Breece Hall is, he's getting healthier. Zach Wilson, hell, I wouldn't be surprised if Aaron Rodgers comes out this week and starts playing. So, yeah, we might see it. But, give me the Bills in this one. I think it's a close game. I'm going to give them to them 20-17 over the Jets.
All right. Next up, NFC West matchup. You got the Seattle Seahawks going on the road against the LA Rams. Now, earlier on in the season, the Rams did show flashes of them. They could be good. I don't know if it's Matt Stafford. The thing is, look at the weapons that Matt Stafford has. They shouldn't be 3-6, in my opinion. But here we are.
If they could stay healthy, they wouldn't be 3-6.
Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, and the Seahawks.
Things coming up big.
Yeah, that's right.
They've had a tough schedule, so I can't really fault them too much.
Yeah, you can't really get mad at that. But yeah, man, in the Seahawks, the Seahawks are solid as hell. If the thing is, the Seahawks right now are creeping up on the 49ers, and all the Niners got to do is slip up once. But the thing is, we're gonna see it come to a head the next time these guys face each other. But with this being a divisional matchup, these matchups are always entertaining regardless. But the Seahawks right now, they're looking way too well balanced, and the Rams are looking too shaky. Even though the Seahawks are only favored by 1 point, you know what? I'll actually take that bet. Give me the Seahawks over the Rams, 28-27. Who you got? Rams, Seahawks.
I don't know if you remember, but week 1 they cooked the Seahawks. So
but this is a what have you done for me lately kind of league.
Yeah, but that was because what have you done for me lately was the Eagles, the 49ers, the Steelers, and the Cowboys. It was a little rough for them.
Yeah.
I think with Matt Stafford back in the picture, with Cooper Kupp now in the picture for this game, You still have Puka out there.
Mm-hmm.
And it comes down to, is Matt Stafford healthy enough? If Matt Stafford plays, I'm giving it to the Rams. And I'm going to assume that Matt Stafford is playing this week because they just came off of a bye week. So he's probably got enough time to rest that hand. He's probably got enough time to get, his throwing arm back into form. I think he's good to go, so I'm going to assume he's playing. And if that's the case, I do think that with the addition of Cooper Kupp to this team for this game, the Seahawks they're taking another L. So give me the Rams in this one, just because. And it comes down to Geno just has no chemistry with DK Metcalf.
Yeah,
it's like the offense it's stagnant because DK is just out there taking up space. Kenneth Walker is great when he's healthy. Tyler Lockett is great, but he's not a number one receiver.
Mm-hmm.
Jackson Smith-Njigba is a rookie. He's not a number one receiver yet. DK is the number one receiver, and he's not playing like a number one receiver. Meanwhile, you got potentially two number one receivers over there when Matt Stafford is healthy, and Puka and Cooper Kupp. So it's like offensively, I got to go with the Rams here. And we just saw what they did in week 1. So I don't think they change it up too much. Give me the Rams in this one, 27-21 over the Seahawks.
Alrighty, we'll see if that holds true. Next up, prime time, Sunday Night Football. You got the Denver Broncos at home against the Minnesota Vikings. Oh, boy. This one is a coin toss. Now, betting odds have the Denver up by 2.5 points. They have them winning this game by 2.5 points. The Vikings are on a 4-game winning streak after coming off of a couple of losses, and then the Broncos are currently on a 3-game winning streak. Something's got to give here. But man, it's all about who you feel more comfortable picking. And the thing is, this is a Josh Dobbs versus Russell Wilson offense. Now, a lot of people like to say that the Broncos, that Russell Wilson he's lost his step, he doesn't have it anymore, and Josh Dobbs, he's Fitzmagic 2.0, right? Probably like the best backup journeyman quarterback of all time, and he's only 27 years old. But still, it also comes down. I think this is going to come down to that one last defensive stop, and I actually like the Vikings defense better than I like the Broncos defense. Believe it or not, go ahead and give me the Vikings in this game. Give me the Vikings, let's say 28-24 over the Broncos. Who you got? Vikings, Broncos. This is going to be a very interesting one.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be interesting. I like the Vikings. I think they got momentum. I think Josh Dobbs is happy to be a starter somewhere again, even with Kyler starting in Arizona now. I think Dobbs is ready to take over here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Kirk Cousins slowly pushed out if Dobbs continues this run.
Yeah.
Either way, I still think they're done with Kirk Cousins. I don't think this is a team anymore. Maybe we'll see, because the loss of Justin Jefferson. I feel like with Kirk Cousins not performing as well as Dobbs is performing with this receiving team without Justin Jefferson, it's going to question a lot of things. So I wouldn't be surprised if Kirk, who's I think he's in his final year of his contract, or maybe next year or something, I forget. I wouldn't be surprised if they start to kind of like push him out and look for either a new quarterback or go with Dobbs, because Dobbs is looking great.
Yeah.
If Dobbs can beat this Broncos team and get them back into the playoffs and get them on a little streak, he might have a starting spot in this league. I would not be surprised. Both of these teams are on a nice run, so it's weird. It's like momentum versus momentum. They're gonna clash. They're gonna butt heads. I wouldn't be surprised if this is another high-scoring game, or at least close to high scoring. Give me, just because I think Dobbs is more dynamic right now. Give me the Vikings in this. Give me the Vikings in this game. Close game, 27-24 over the Broncos.
All right. Now the main event, Monday Night Football. You got the Kansas City Chiefs at home against the Philadelphia Eagles. Chiefs 7-2, Eagles 8-1. Who you got? Chiefs, Eagles.
I'm going with the Eagles.
Wow.
As much as I despise the Chiefs, I'm not picking against them because I'm picking against them. I'm picking against them because I think this Eagles team is just they're built to disrupt this Chiefs offense. When you think about it, taking the ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hands is the best bet.
Very.
His receiving core is not that great. They know to zero in on Travis Kelce. They literally have his brother on the team. And they're good at running the clock and scoring. And Kansas City's whole offense or defense is not that great. Their defense is very exploitable. We just saw them get shut out basically by the Broncos. The Broncos just kind of dusted them off. And that's just the Eagles' game plan. The Eagles' game plan is to run the ball, run clock. You throw it constantly. Patrick Mahomes has shown us that he's very turnover prone this year.
Mm-hmm.
I think he threw a couple picks the last couple games, so he's. I can't fault him for it because that receiving core looks terrible. All you have to do is just take Kelce out of the game plan, and he's basically throwing to nobody.
Yeah. He's got Pacheco. I mean, he's got Pacheco, but he's not. He ain't Tyreek Hill. Yeah, he's not.
Yeah, he's not Tyreek.
Yeah.
They went and got what's his name? The receiver that left and came back. I forget his name.
Yeah.
The speedster.
Yeah.
He was the other speedster, the kick returner guy for them back in the day. He came back.
Yeah.
I don't think he's the answer. I don't have a lot of faith in this Chiefs offense right now, and that's what's kind of pushing me towards the Eagles. I think the Eagles are just they're built to win a Super Bowl. This is going to be the rematch, but the rematch is kind of iffy because we see that the Chiefs are kind of weaker now.
Mm-hmm.
So I got the Eagles in this. I'm gonna keep it close. I'll say the Eagles 30, Chiefs 24. But yeah, it might be worse.
I actually have it closer than you have, even though I got the same result. I've got the Eagles 28-24 over Kansas City. Now the thing is that you can't let Kansas City get comfortable. You can't. They're a momentum-built team too. Like the thing is, if you score quick, guess what? They will answer just as fast. And you're right, 100%. Is the best way is to keep the ball out of Patrick Mahomes' hands as much as possible because he can run. I mean, the thing is, he can score on that ball quick. Now, the only thing that's not really scary, or the only thing that's really questionable, is that that defense, that Kansas City defense. And I think that it's safe to say that at this point, the Eagles' defense is a hell of a lot better. The offense is even, but the defense, you got to give the nod to the Eagles. And in that regard, that's something that you really got to, you got to take that into account. And Jalen Hurts, man, if you give him time, of course, I mean, the dude's a magician. You can't deny that. And the thing is, even though I still do think that Patrick Mahomes is a slightly better QB than Jalen Hurts is, I do think that, that just the Eagles are overall better team this year, especially, and dare I say it, better overall coach too. So, yeah, go ahead and give me the Eagles 28-24 over Kansas City. But all right, that'll do it for this episode of the Fourth and Goal podcast, Week 11. Got any final thoughts before we sign off tonight, Flip?
Shout out to Mike Tomlin. He has pulled off a miracle and somehow kept his streak alive. When the season first started, I really thought that the Steelers had no chance at saving that streak, and he somehow managed to pull it up. Let me not jinx it because they're not done yet.
Yeah, it's still 8 weeks to go. There's still plenty of tough time for you to muck this up. So yeah,
I think it's set in stone. But it's just been a fun year. I haven't said this enough. I love when the NFL is chaotic. I don't want to see,
predictable.
by week 10, every team is basically looking like, oh, okay, those are the teams that are going to make it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like, I want to see up till at least like week 14, 15. I want to see just chaos. I want to see
the Royal Rumble. Yeah.
Yeah. I want to see some shit happening. I want to see just great shit. And I know a lot of people, they want their teams to lock in that playoff spot because, it's less stress. It's more peaceful. But it's fun going down the line, man. It's going down the wire with every spot in the playoffs. That's great.
Yeah.
So, shout out to the NFL right now. It's looking fun. So I hope they keep it going, whatever script they got going on.
Yeah, exactly. The NFL script writers are having the ball with this one. But anyway, that'll do it for this week's edition of the Fourth and Goal podcast. I'm your host. It's my boy Flip. Flip, thank you, buddy. I appreciate you helping me host the show every week. And we will see you next week. Peace out.
My God, peace.